I'm privileged. I'm privileged to get this word from you. Thanks, Lisa, for this. Oh, okay. Guys, as you know, it's my role for today to officially open the meeting. And with that said, I'm going to open it. And Lisa, shall we ask the guest to introduce once again, or we just assure that they already introduced?
I think just one sentence for all who were late.
Okay. Who was late? Who was late?
A lot of people were late, but still. For example, I think George can just say another few words about himself.
As I said before, my name is George. I'm from Khmelnytsky region, and my goal to improve my speaking ability and meet interesting people, maybe gain some new friends, and to hear interesting topics here and try to discuss something.
Thank you. So Vitaly introduced himself, then Andrzej as well. So who else we have here? Almost everybody introduced.
Katerina, maybe Katerina. She is.
Katerina, sorry, yes. Katerina.
Hi dear, I'm from Kiev. Not so far. I moved from the business to a charity. Now I work with the Americans to help Ukrainian little farmers to support them on the zone close to the war zone. So I would like to improve my English to speak easier and get the idea through and speak better. So thank you for invitation.
Oh, thank you. You're in the right place. I'm also here to improve my English and not to forget it at all. I will ask also Vitaly. Vitaly, can you introduce yourself? How did you get to know about the meeting, Vitaly Blохin?
Yeah, I'm kind of participant of Odesa, best Odesa speaking club for like last 6 years. And usually on Sundays we have some meetings. And today I asked our president what we are going to do, and he just sent me this link that we will be with you guys. So that's kind of easy. That's how it happened.
Okay. Thanks a lot for this. So, all others have been introduced. Thanks. Guys, you know that. Oh,
I haven't introduced yet. Yeah. Right. My name is Irina. I'm from Odessa, from Odessa's Best Speakers Club, and I'm really glad to see everyone here. And I've never been in Dnipro Hills meetings, and for me, it's so interesting to be participated here.
Yeah, good. It's nice that we have this. That our meeting is combined because here we have Dnipro Hills members from our friendly club Best Odessa Speakers, as well as Andrzej from Polish and City Limits. It's very good. Guys, you know that we are going to have this online meeting, and such topics as religion, politics, and sex, they are not recommended, but we can discuss it after the meeting. And now, if you want to, of course. And now I'm going to pass the control to the Toastmaster of the meeting, to the president of our friendly club, to Sergei Radchenko. Sergei.
Thank you. Thank you, Yuri. Hello, everybody. Today we open and start our traditional meeting with Dnipro Hills, and I really great to be there. I like to structure of your meeting, because it's really different, it's really interesting, with a big workshop, with prepared speech, with interesting table topic session, and with feedback part. And about today, we create some interesting trip about business, about our business relationship, about our business life. And each of the great people has their own gold rules of the business. And I think that each of us we'll find our own business rules. But first, I want to present our technical experts, and we have different technical experts as usual. And the first technical expert is timer. And before I present the people, the time has also shown how it affects the progress development of the business. In the ancient times, the formula was successful man with man. During the Industrial Revolution, without investing human resources. But now, nowadays, this happens in the territory of virtual space, as we now have the virtual space. And our timer knows more about our time limit and our results and feedback. And I invite to the stage our timekeeper, Oleksandr Myronchuk. Oleksandr, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Oleksandr, and I am the timer for today's Toastmaster meetings. In this role, my primary responsibility is to help maintain the flow of the meeting by ensuring that each speaker adheres to their allotted time. I will quickly remind you of the basic rules. We will start from a workshop of 30 minutes. Afterwards, we will have prepared speeches. For a 5-minute speech, I will show you a green card. This means that your speech is still within the permissible time limits. If your speech is longer than 6 minutes, I will show you a yellow card, which means that you should start finishing the speech. And if your speech is 70 minutes long, I will show you the red card, which means that you have exceeded the time limit. For the evaluation session, for prepared speeches, we have the following time limits. 2 minutes is a green card, 2.5 minutes is a yellow card, and 3 minutes is a red card. For the table topic session, we have the following time limits. 1 minute is a green card, 1 minute 30 seconds is a yellow card, and 3 minutes is a red card. And finally, for the table topic evaluation session, we have the following time limits. 30 seconds is a green card, 45 seconds is a yellow card, and 1 minute is a red card. Thank you for your attention, and let's make this succeed by embracing the value of time in our journey towards becoming confident and articulate speakers. Back to you.
Thank you, Oleksandr. And we continue our topic. We continue our journey. And the next technical expert is accountant is also important. It's like in our childhood when we sell something, lemonade or biscuits or something else. And I believe that clean and clear speech is important, even in advertising. And remember those who sold their services with clear voices. And I invite on the stage our next technical expert is the president of Dnipro Hills, Yura Boychuk. Yuri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sergei. Yes. I really support your idea that when you want to sell something, you need to have this clear words without using these pause fillers or crutch words. What do I mean by crutch words and pause fillers? These expressions like this sounds like etc. When you make a pause, you use these filler words. or am, and make sure you avoid using them during your speeches. I will, as a counter, I will also pay attention to overused words, including and, so, well, and also to the words that the speaker can repeat. For instance, I mean, this means, well, etc. So make sure you don't repeat words, you don't overuse them. At the end, I will provide a report, a short report. I hope it's going to be a very short report, and your speeches will be crystal clear. Thanks.
Thank you, Yuri. I hope we create really crystal speech, crystal feedback, and crystal life. But about our grammarian, it's really important. And as you know, historians consider ancient Mesopotamia to be the cradle of the business. It developed at a rapid rate in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. And this makes it clear that just a moment. It clear that the region does not matter, but communication and knowledge do. And I invite on this stage our grammarian, Eric Helliwell. And Eric, the floor is yours.
Hello, guys. Sorry, I'm on my way walking back. I'll be home in 10 minutes to actually go on the big screen here. But in the meantime, I'll be listening to your grammar as I'm walking. And as a native speaker, I hope to be able to pick up a few things and maybe just a few themes. I don't tend to focus on a lot of little things, but if I hear some repetitive type of thing that could be improved, I'll try to put that on the list. And above all, anything useful, idioms I really like to highlight. So if you come up with any clever phrases or popular ways to say things, I always like to highlight those because that makes us sound a lot more like a native speaker when we know these idioms. And so I'm gonna type it a little better with a definition when I go back, but we're also gonna have a word of the day. And the word of the day, as we go into our holiday season, will be one of three variants you can use: festival, festivity, or festivities. Okay, so where does that come from? Well, festival, we know what a festival is. So a festivity is something that is an event that is festive and a collection of events. Sometimes in a party, we might say, let's start the festivities. In a club meeting, we'll say we have a prepared set of festivities to do today, fun and exciting festivities. So anything to do with that, those words, festival, festivity, or festivities. I'll type it for you when I get back home. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Eric. Round of applause. Thank you. We try to use your different words of the day in our table topic session, and now we create the great part of our meeting. It's prepared performances, and the first prepared performance is a workshop by the good friends of the Dnipro Hills, Andrzej Manka from Poland, and they have been interacting together for a long time. And this is the third workshop of Andrzej in the Dnipro Hills. But you can watch two previous workshops into the Dnipro Hills channel. And I invite on the stage our first speaker, Andrzej Manka, from his different interesting workshop. Andrzej Manka from his workshop. Andrzej, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sergey, and thank you very much for inviting me, actually for having me. I asked Lesia if I could do this workshop because whenever I do workshop in your club, then I do much better in my business. So I thought that, you know, if I can do my talks or my workshops, let's say every couple of months, I can always improve something. And this is the purpose of for me, like the most important purpose is to find the way I can improve my workshop. And I prepared a questionnaire, just 3 questions after the workshop. So if possible, that would be very thankful if you could just share with me a couple of things. And let me share the screen because, of course, I've got a quick presentation for today meeting. And we'll be talking about today how to grow your business fast. The reason that I do such workshop is because I'm a business owner. I run an e-learning company for 2 years, and we help other entrepreneurs to grow their businesses. So like growing business is our main focus, main theme. And this is what we've been exploring for a couple of years. And today I wanted to share something more specific. So we'll be talking about growing business through a very specific kind of case study or very specific method, which is generate £60,000 in 90 days. Some of our prospective customers react for this kind of statements with big enthusiasm, because actually when you run your business or when you are a freelancer, or if you simply like achieve your goals in a possibly effective way, then you will be thinking like this. You want to set up a very specific goal. You want to set up a method or the set of behaviors or a plan to achieve it. And this is actually the key, I would say, the foundation of all daily activities of every entrepreneur. So you need to have a very specific goal. So you need to have also very specific methods to achieve them and constantly improve it. So this is something that actually, if you run your business, you know that probably you think in these categories, in this way, on daily basis. So, but before we jump into the world of business, I wanted also to share a couple of things of my this year achievements, very special achievements, because I started running marathons. The first marathon in my life was in London in April, and then I ran the second marathon in Warsaw in September, and I've started preparing for a marathon in Greece next year. And I think this the marathon in Greece will be like an original marathon, of course, because they really start in the village called Marathon. It's exactly the same road where in ancient times, as probably we know all this story, Pheidippides, probably this is the correct name, Pheidippides, a Greek soldier, ran this to Athens to actually warn, the inhabitants of Athens against Persians, but actually he wanted to say that they won, the Greek won. So he was able to like shout victory, and he died. And that's why we are running marathon. I thought that this third marathon in Greece will be very special. But why I'm talking about this, the reason that I wanted to talk about challenges such as run a marathon is because I find doing such challenges very helpful in running my business, because the nature of let's say achieving certain goals in sport or this kind of, or when you are a gym member, it's a very similar actually to the business ones. You've got your goal, very exciting, you need to put a lot of effort, but you've got also a method, the way you are going to achieve it, and that's actually what makes your goal achievable, more realistic, whatever of course realistic means. So this is something I find like a lot of great similarities between doing sports and and running business. And let's jump straight away into spoiler. So that's the simplified version of the method I will be talking about, how to grow your business fast. So the 3 stages are necessary to generate a specific amount of money within a specific well-defined time frame. And these stages are actually very universal. You can use them as like a kind of pattern of thinking whenever you think about, you know, how you can do your business fast, how you can accelerate the progress in your business, and what actually you need to take into account to be successful. So the first stage is always to identify your customer, to know who is your customer, because, you know, if you want to be successful in business, you need to know who is your customer, and of course, what is his or her big problem, because once you are able to identify their problem, then the next step, you need to come up with a solution. It could be a big promise, and then you can close a deal. In our case, those deals are worth like 5,000 to 10,000 pounds. So that's like these 3 stages that are the most important, and this is also the simplified version of the whole method. And when you think about this type of, you know, the systems or method, and if for any reason you don't like business or you know, generating money, you can think about this as also inspiration to set up your own challenges or methods to, let's say, achieve a very specific goals in your public speaking career. So for instance, I can imagine that you could set up a challenge such as how to win a contest within 90 days, right? Or how to become a TED speaker within 6 months. So you've got like a very exciting goal. Then you need to put into practice, you know, all kinds of methods. Perhaps you will speak with people who already achieved this goal, so you can learn actually what could be the most effective method. But this is actually the way you could think about your public speaking career or any other thing you would like to improve in your life. But so what is actually important in business is to identify the kind of the simple possible way of doing business. So, you know, whenever you think that your business is slightly too complex, or you have no idea actually what's going on, or things get complicated, or you struggle with clarity, the best way actually to move forward is to simplify everything, and then you see like the proper picture. And the platform to reach your customers you will be using in this method are LinkedIn and Facebook, or you can, if you prefer LinkedIn or Facebook, you can become a master of LinkedIn or master of Facebook. However, both of these platforms are very similar. Of course, there are a lot of differences. They've got different features, but most of the time you will use. I mean, the similarity. There are more similarities, I would say. So you can use these platforms without paying actually for ads. You can use it in a very generic way. And the very important thing about thinking about generating the specific amount of money in a short period of time is to focus on implementation. So business is the art of implementation. You know, when we think a little bit about how we react very often when we face all kinds of problems, probably like the automatic response is very often to learn about a new strategy or about new method, or buy a book, or buy an online course, or go for a training. And that's, of course, it makes sense. The knowledge is definitely knowledge is a key to success. But actually, I would say that more important, especially in activities such as, you know, running your business, the implementation actually is the key. You can have a very average strategy. You can have a strategy which is very simple or even very primitive actually. But if you implement it in a very skillful way, if you do that in an excellent way, if you put the whole your effort and the whole your heart and the whole your knowledge, and you will do a lot of experimentation, and you don't give up until you achieve your goal, when you become a kind of master of implementation, then you will succeed. And sometimes you won't need a very complicated or complex or very sophisticated strategies. It's actually business, I would say, is a quite simple thing to do. This method that I would like to present today is a simplified version of our program, which we run from the very beginning of our company. And this program is quite complex and quite long. It's called 12 Steps to Your Profitable Online Business. And during this time, we go through 12 steps. It takes about a year to set up a profitable business, and we work with our customers on things such as understanding your customer, applying a proper business model, working on your perception, on your marketing, on this pricing strategy, on experimentation, of course, building your team as well, because if you want to be a business owner and you want to succeed in business, one of the best things you can do in the beginning is to create this kind of vision for your business, where you know, let's say in 5, you should determine in the beginning that you are going in 5, let's say, or in 10 years to go out from your business, to leave this organization for themselves. Of course, having, you know, shares in your business, but you need to build organizations that will be successful without you, so you can start doing something else. And that's the difference actually between doing a business and being self-employed, right? So it's like you should start working on your business from the very beginning, not only working in your business. So now let's go through this 7 steps. So as I mentioned before, is a simplified version of a slightly longer period. And let's have a look what this method is about and what we need to take into account if you want to generate a specific amount of money, in this case, 60,000 in 90 days. So the first step is to always start with a proper point of focus on things that are in the center of your universe, of your business. So who is it really about? So as we know, the whole world, especially social media, probably a long time ago convinced us that the center of our universe is me. It's everything is about myself. It's about how great I am. It's about how great personality I have and how beautiful or rich or, you know, handsome or whatever. And my life is like so attractive that you can get 1 million followers, and this is the way how you can actually do your business. And of course, we are unique, we are beautiful, we are very special. Every one of us is a genius in something that is very unique. Your super skill, your like hidden abilities that maybe you haven't yet discovered. But the real focus on the business that will be durable, that will bring a lot of bring a lot of values and make change is your client. So this is what we should start with, your client. And of course, the better we understand who our client is, the better business we will be doing, because you know, your client will determine whether your client will pay you. Your client will either recommend your business to their friends or not. And so in this, like a more mature version of your business, you need to know about your customer pretty much everything, literally everything, not just a little bit, nor it shouldn't be like a general knowledge. You should know literally everything about your customer. And the modern marketing, modern tools actually give us possibilities to build a really very like sophisticated profiles of our customers. But again, in this very short pathway to generate a specific amount of money with a specific time frame, the one thing actually it's enough to start generating money from the very beginning. You need to know what is his or her urgent problem. And that's it. You need to know exactly what is the horribly awful, you know, something really scary or something really serious that they want to get rid of. So the urgent problem is like something that it's at least in the beginning in this the fast pathway is the urgent problem is enough to start generating money. So, of course, it's good to have, again, a very clear understanding of your customer. You can build real profiles. You can have real names and real biographies, especially when it comes to things such as their behaviors, their background, how they make decisions, their values, but actually in this fast pathway, it's enough that we understand their urgent problem, of course, and of course we come up with a revolutionary solution, because you know we need to have a good solution in order to get our first customers. The second step is to create a magnetic language, a language that will be very effective in our communication with our customers. So normally I would say when we think about a language, the way how we communicate with our customers, probably what is the first thing that come up to our mind is a good copywriting skills. And certainly the knowledge about language, the knowledge about all kinds of persuasion techniques is something that is very helpful, and it's good to know as much as possible about how to write compelling texts and how to create sales pitches and what type of language is relevant for the specific audiences. That's certainly the truth. But actually, once you understand your customer and you know exactly what they need, what is their horrible problem, then actually it's quite easy to write a self-selling offer, because you know exactly what they need, right? You don't need to be like a super skilled, you know, copywriter to come up with a good ad or with a good offer that will like resonate with your customers. So we, for instance, one of the campaign we ran recently, we use, for instance, this type of a kind of self-selling offers. I mean, so by self-selling offer, I mean a very short statement or statements, a few sentences, literally a few sentences that are like give your potential customers a flavor what you can do for them, what is your big promise, and also that you understand their objections. So we use, for instance, statements such as give me an hour and a half of your time and I will show you how to earn or generate $60,000 or $100 in just 90 days. So this is our big promise. And our prospective customers are entrepreneurs who struggle a little bit with sales. So as you can imagine, if someone struggles with generating revenue and suddenly sees such statement, it could be something that they will be interested in if they are looking, of course, for solution. But there are also two more statements, which is the result of our understanding of the common objections those guys may have. So we say also, even if your earnings have been low, because very often people think, okay, probably it's not for me because I haven't yet generated even half of this money, so it's not for me. So that's why we address the first objection. And the second very common objection is that probably it's very expensive. I need to have a lot of money for Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads. So that's not for me. So that's we add, even if you don't have any marketing budget or significant marketing budget. The third step is to start actually from the very beginning with sales. So what is interesting and a bit paradoxical perhaps in doing business is that you might think perhaps that business or entrepreneurs are normal people, but a lot of things that entrepreneurs do are completely crazy. One of the crazy things that every business owner does is that they start selling from the very beginning. They don't have yet, you don't need to have a good product to start selling. You don't need to have a very advanced service to start selling. You can start selling actually having very average product, or even product which exists only in your mind. And this is what happens actually in every industry. We very often buy something which is more like a perception, something that is more like a promise that will happen, let's say, when we get our product. But actually in business, you can start selling. Let's focus on things, because we are a learning company. So for instance, we very often start selling our online courses not having an online course. So for instance, you can sell an idea of online course. You can sell, let's say that you want to design a course about how to grow your business fast. So you come up with an idea. If you've got a bit of experience in designing online courses, you can create like a concept or a content. So you can determine that it will be, let's say, 30 sessions, 3 modules, and that you will cover certain topics. And then you can actually write a sales text, prepare a landing page, and start selling something that isn't yet ready. It could be a pre-sales, or you can promise that this course will be ready, let's say, in 30 or 60 days. So now you can start selling from the very reduced price, because that could be your one of the main sales arguments, that that people who are interested in this topic, they can get this online course for a super reduced price, let's say even 70% off. And but the first thing you do, you actually test if there is any interest in your online course. Normally people very often spend, let's say, 3 or 4 months designing very sophisticated, beautiful, great online courses. And the next step is to create a marketing strategy and then to start selling. And it happens that after, let's say, 6 months, no one wants to buy their course. And that's actually a big tragedy, I would say, because you spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of money, and no one wants to buy, and you start thinking actually that probably you are not good enough, that you are not, that people don't like what you do, and that you don't have money, and you also have probably slightly like you diminished yourself in your own eyes because no one wants to buy from you. But you can start actually selling an idea, right? You can start selling an idea. This is what happens also in other industry. If you are familiar with the guy Elon Musk, he, for instance, was selling the first models of Tesla a year before it was actually they were produced. Every development company, they are selling houses before they are built. They are like selling kind of dreams, So that's actually the approach you should adopt as an entrepreneur. But let's have a look what is traditional sales about. So if you wanted to be a sales professional, you would have to be very good at at least the 7 steps, because the 7 steps are absolutely necessary to sell in this, let's say, traditional way. So you need to be good in prospecting, in qualifying, you need to discover needs, you need to be, of course, a master of pitching, you need to know how to do a proper sales pitch and conversation with your customer. You need to be really very good, especially in handling objections, because objections will always appear. You need to know what are objections, what are fake objections, what are real objections, and how to handle them. And of course, how to close a deal, which is also quite a big thing to do, especially if the sales process is complex. And then, of course, the last stage is to deliver on your promises. But again, in our FAST method, if you understood your customer and their very urgent need, then your sales process could be very simple and very easy. You don't need to be a sales professional to start selling from the very beginning. You can just qualify your customer, then you can just pitch them, which is to, let's say, set up a Zoom call or a phone call. You can close your first deal during this conversation, and then the third step is, of course, to deliver your product. So that means that when you don't like selling, you don't need to be a sales professional. And if you don't like selling, if you think that this is not something that you enjoy or would like to do in your life, you can be pretty much actually certain that your sales conversations will look like a normal, friendly, warm meeting with your customers. And this is how does it work. This is what happens if you understand very well your customer. The next step is to create a proper perception of your business. So I think that the first thing that come up to our mind when we think about how we should think about our perception is probably that we need to show our certificates, our achievements. We should build a very nice website and record a couple of good videos and so on and so on. So that's like the traditional way of thinking about how to create a proper perception. And of course, it makes sense, right? I mean, if I'm handsome and rich and I live in a beautiful house somewhere next to the beach, and I can actually show all this stuff in my, let's say, Facebook profile, that's something that could help me to run my business. If, for instance, if I'm influencer or I do some, or I'm a tourist agent, or if I teach people how to achieve financial freedom or this kind of stuff. But from your customer point of view, this is not actually what matters that much. The most important thing from your customer point of view is what's your big promise. What's your big promise? Because when I've got an urgent problem, and probably we all have a lot of urgent problems, and we are just looking for all kinds of solution. So the first thing that draw my attention when I'm looking for a solutions is what is this big promise? I mean, if someone can promise me that they can solve my problems, this is what actually built immediately a great perception of someone's, right? Because I see that I can find here a solution. So the first step actually to build a proper perception of our business is to come up with a really great promises. For instance, that I will enable you or help you to generate 60,000 in 90 days. This is what we very often do. Or we can double your sales in 90 days. This is another program we do. So it's also very specific and very when it comes to the amount, the job that we would do for you, or we can do together, and also very well defined in time frame. So it's like 90 days, or it could be 6 months, or it could be 30 days. It of course depends on a very specific situation. And but a part of your big promise, of course, you need to know how you are going to deliver your promise. So what's your method? So let's say if you are a coach or consultant, or you are financial advisor, or you run your small, let's say, online business, which is based on your knowledge, you sell what you know, then of course you need to show how you are going to deliver your promise. So what exactly will you do? It will be Zoom meetings, or you will give access to your to an online account on your website, when there are plenty of amazing materials that can solve your customers' problems, or that it will be let's say training courses once a week on every Saturday, live workshops or seminars. Whatever is your method, you need to, of course, demonstrate that it works. You need to. It's good to have, of course, in the beginning it could be a problem, but after some time you've got your first customers. One of the best things you can do when you demonstrate your method is to have a good testimonials. I mean, so that's like the evidence that your method works. And another I would say super important thing that we need to take into account when we are thinking about how to create a proper perception, which is another term the best way to build your perception is, of course, to use the proper marketing tools or public relations tools. So in order to understand how to build a good perception, we need to be aware of two systems that we use when we deal with reality, when we try to understand very complex and very messy reality around us, and how we actually deal with the world, and how we make sense of everything that happens around us. So there are two systems. The first system is like very fast. We do automatic decisions. We need like literally a few seconds to understand what's going on around us. Who is this guy? Or, you know, what is this ad about? Or what should I do in this specific moment? This is what we do actually every single day. And we very often, of course, make a bad decision, because when we use this fast system, is very helpful because it helps us to survive. But at the same time, this system is error prone. So we've got also at the second system, when we've got a little bit more time and energy, we can sit down and think about the let's say decision we want to make, or to better understand certain topic or certain situation or a business problem or an offer that someone sent us. So it was like the first step is to create something that will help us to draw our attention immediately, because the more complex decision will happen during when we've got a bit more time to use the second system. So that means that clearly indicates that in our fast track method to generate money, we'll focus, of course, on the system one. And the system one is to better understand it. However, probably you understood this already, but you know, it's like the system one is when our reptilian brain operates. It's like about this very quick associations. Is this guy good or bad? Is he can he solve my problem or not? Is he rich or poor? Is he you know, someone who can help me, or I need to run out, or something like this? It's like this is like the system one is the system that we need to focus and use when we are designing our marketing messages. The step 5, very interesting and very, very important, is to remind ourselves how kids learn to walk. And actually, that would be the question to you, if I may. How kids learn to walk? Anyone knows?
They
always fall down, and then stand up, and they try again, and also fall down and stand up, and so on and so on.
Yes, exactly. And so the second question would be, you probably also know how kids learn to talk, to speak.
Inarticulate morning, and then better and better. Lisa, sorry for interrupting you all the time. Say something.
Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing this. It's actually the trial and error method, right? It's like they never give up. They try, they fall down, they try again, and this process goes on and on until they achieve, of course, they want to do, right? If they want to. So this is something actually that we do when we are when I'm a kid. I just learn like this. But when I'm an adult, very often I stop learning like this. I mean, sometimes it's enough that I do one error, one mistake, and I stop trying, right? It's because this is how actually we are programmed a bit by our, environment. But actually, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I should go back to this method to be very effective, because in business you will learn 99% of your business knowledge will come from doing. So you will be learning by doing, not necessarily. Of course, online courses are important, books are important, universities or even MBAs if you like. But actually, if you want to really be a successful entrepreneur, you need to adopt this method again. So you need to start learning by doing, and this is what we forget sometimes forgot when we are adults. But in business, this process sometimes is called iteration. So that means that you come up with the first version of your product, which will be probably very imperfect, or even very primitive, but you can still start selling it. You can get first customer, then having feedback from them, you can come up with the second iteration, so you can again improve it and come up with the next iteration, the next, and so on and so on. And you can actually earn money all the time. And generating revenue in your business is of course important, because otherwise you will go bankrupt. And when you have a look at pretty much every successful business, this is what they do. Every successful business use this method. For instance, one of my favorite examples is Microsoft, because Microsoft now I think they've got quite stable products, but the first Windows, like 95 or even 2000, it was horrible. Actually, it was, they frozen very often. They had a lot of like errors, but they were selling these products. They learn actually through our feedback how to improve it, and that's a brilliant strategy. The same when it comes to Apple and the car industry, and so on and so on. So that's the best strategy we can also adopt. Instead of just wasting too much time and energy and money to create a perfect product, it's better to just come up with what we have now, and then through the process of selling and getting feedback, improve it. And the sixth step is to focus on your revolutionary product that of course will solve your customer problem. So this is how you should think about your product. Your product is just to solve your customer problem. And if you let's say to stick to this example of, let's say, an e-learning company or consulting or coaching company, the way how you will design your product would looks like this. It's like you need to help your customer to go from the point A to point B, like in this very simplified version. So the point A is the current situation of your customer with their horrible problem, and the point B is where their life is transformed. They are happy. They don't have no more this big problems. And so that's like the way you can think about you might think about your product. So it's like how to help your customer to get to the point B, to move from point A to point B. Of course, in real life, this journey could be much more complex. We know that life is much more messy and complicated than the theoretical models. So we need to be prepared, of course, on perhaps slightly challenging journey. But anyway, it's like our task, our main role is to help our customers to get where they want to get. And the last step, which is very special, I would say, that's why I started with sharing with you that I'm a marathon runner, because this is something that helped me like to get a proper mindset, entrepreneurial mindset. So the last step, which is super important, is actually related with our mindset, with our emotional intelligence, with our ability to work under the high pressure, to deal with uncertainty, because these things actually, like, let's say, dealing with uncertainty is something that we don't like. That's why most of us prefer to work as employees, because employment gives us at least this kind of illusion of safety. Whereas when I'm an entrepreneur, I need to deal actually every single day with uncertainty, with I have no idea if this decision will be a good decision, and I need to make this decision anyway. I have no idea if this campaign will be a total disaster or will bring a lot of new customers, and so on and so on. This list like goes on. And actually, it happens that this is me, an entrepreneur who needs to bring a certainty to the uncertain reality. This is how it works. It's like my belief system, the way how I think, the way how I operate. This is the way how I who I am and what I think about myself, my customers, my business, and what I do. And this certainty, this my values, my character, this is what like brings to this very uncertain reality certainty, right? So this is actually my attitude will determine my success. So this is a pretty much the visualization of my attitude, right? As a business owner, it's like whatever it takes, right? It's not like I will try, well, let's see how it goes. It's not necessarily like this. I need to be very serious about what I do, really very serious. So, you know, it's like we need to be really a good in implementation, in executing, in putting into practice. And you know, this attitude could be called like whatever it takes, right? Literally, I would do whatever it takes. Of course, in a legal frame, right, and in moral frame, obviously. But when it comes to like my mindset, my ability to sacrifice my time and to work in under high pressure or in very uncertain projects or situations, this is how I should think about my business project. It's so important actually when we work with our customer. It happens that I would say 90% of success depends actually on this attitude. You know, you don't need to be like an expert as an entrepreneur because you will hire experts. You don't need to be a super specialist. It's good to be, of course. I'm not saying that it's not helpful, but actually it happens that what really matters when you build your business organization is mainly your character, it's mainly your mindset and the way how you set up your goals, how you execute these goals, how you communicate, how you deal with all kinds of problems. And the more you want to achieve, of course, the more problems you will have to overcome. So we even design a very special online course, which is called The Habit of Winning. We are not selling it, is a part of our one of our business courses, but this is like the course designed for people who want to better entrepreneurs who want to better understand the nature of this type of winning mindset. And the last very important thing when you would like to use this method or create your own program or your own challenge is one super important thing. You should sell results, not necessarily knowledge. So I mean, of course, depends who is your target audience, but actually in our case, when it comes to entrepreneurs and this type of, let's say, people or professionals, they are not interested in knowledge. You know, it's like we design our beautiful online courses. We put a lot of effort to record great videos and to write a beautiful articles and create a really great content. But actually, this is not what they buy. They buy results. And there are a lot of other groups who would be more interested in getting results rather than getting more knowledge. So that's a quite interesting and important distinction. Is the same like I said in the beginning, that you should start from the beginning, work on your business, not only in your business, and understanding this distinction will like help you to get your what you want to build your business much faster. It's the same actually what you are going to sell. If you want to like earn money faster, and if you want to attract people who are ready to pay you more, of course you need to at the same time work on your product, on your system, on your process, or on your method. But that's very important to sell, to focus on results. And once you decide to work with certain type of customer, because you can, of course, if you want to guarantee results, at the same time you need to also create a system that will help you to qualify a proper customer, right? Because you cannot guarantee everyone. You can guarantee only those who are proper fit for you. But once you start working with the proper guys, you need to also guarantee results, because this is what they are interested in. And at the end, I thought that I would invite you, if someone, of course, is interested in a 7-day free challenge, after which you will earn 60,000 in 90 days, or you will achieve similar goal. The 60,000 in 90 days is just an example, is a kind of slogan we use to attract people who are interested in getting results. For instance, in our case, specifically in their businesses. We start this challenge in January, so if you want, you can let me know, or you can ask Lesia. So she would give perhaps an email to me. But also I've got a questionnaire at the end, a short survey. So I would share with you, so you could give me a quick feedback. Yeah, I'm on time, as I can't see the timekeeper.
Don't worry,
Do
just
we
5
still have a
minutes,
bit?
it's okay.
Oh,
Don't
do we have a time, or it's do we
Uh,
still have a time?
Actually, it's already 45 minutes, so we move
45.
yes, out of the time.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 45 or 35?
45.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's it. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrzej. We have some additional minute for feedback, so don't worry. We already shared the link in chat, so just 1 minute for feedback for Andrzej, and we will continue. Thanks again for joining us today. Sergei, your turn.
Yes, thank you, Lesia, thank you, Andrzej. It's like a festival of ideas from you. It's really great workshop. Thank you, Andrzej. Thank you for that great job, and we continue our topic. And 1 minute, as Lesia say, for feedback for your workshop, and then we continue. As I understand, we can continue, and now it's time to our next prepared speech, our next performance. It's from Liudmyla Kushch, the speaker, the member of Dnipro Hills. And before I invite you, I want to talk. Sometimes you don't need to talk to sell something, because your actions and your process speak about this. You can see the Facebook page, you can see the picture of your life. And I invite on the stage Liudmyla Kushch with her speech. Liudmyla Kushch, say something to see you clearly. To say something to see you clearly, Liudmyla Kushch, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and fellow guests. Communication, effective communication, and building effective relationship has been one of the main topics for my life for the last 20 years, I would say. When I was a schoolgirl, I heard from my Ukrainian teacher the phrase, "Say something for me to see you clearly." And I started thinking, what can be it all about? Because sometimes people think that the words which they use to give their message are more important than anything else. The recent research that was taken by American famous university claims that it's only 20% of the message which you can get by words, and like other 80% you can get by non-verbal means of communication. So why it is so important to be effective communicator, and what are the types of communicators? Well, how do we make our mind about a person we had a talk to? It's kind of feeling which you have when your conversation actually finished. Sometimes it's a pleasant feeling. You feel kind of inspired. But sometimes you feel that you just wasted your time. He said a lot of stuff, but nothing special. What is more, he said even something offensive. So, regarding all that, I would say that it's not about what we say, it's about how we say, and it's about how appropriate it is at this moment of time and to this person, actually. As you know, there are 4 types of communications. So, direct communication. It is highly used by bosses, by people who are in charge, because the main idea is to deliver the task straight away. And sometimes in relationship, when you feel angry with someone, it's much better to say directly that you are angry and why do you feel like that? Because what most of us prefer to do? We prefer to ignore the person, or slamming the doors, or doing some kind of huff and puff. Especially women. Women are perfect at ignoring men, and men just get crazy of thinking, what did I say wrong? Another thing that you get used to direct communication, like you are a business kind of person, and the lady you're in a relationship with is about other kind of communication, let us say supporting. So she needs to hear support, and you just tell the truth how it is. Would it be effective? I really doubt. I really doubt, because the stuff we use at our job place, which works perfectly, won't work like that for our private communication, for our relationship. That's why there is a huge amount of really high successful business women who, guess what, cannot build normal relationship with men because they keep behaving like at workplace. The same stuff with teachers. Teachers like to order. Teachers have to give orders. But you know what? I've been teaching for 20 years, and now my favorite category of students is teenagers. Can you order to teenager? Never. You have to respect. You have to be equal. And what is less, you have to prove the teenager that you are trustworthy and that your life path can be a kind of example. Otherwise, they would never listen to you. And teenagers is our future. And to be influential person for teenagers, you should be much more than professional in your area, believe me. What's more, being a teacher for teenagers, I'm not teaching them kind terms of English. I launched about 2 years ago online speaking club with the best moments which I took from Toastmasters, and I encourage them to express themselves freely, to have debates, and sometimes my opinion, it's not the only one which is right. Sometimes I have to admit that I was wrong about something. Because I'm a bit about yesterday, today, and a little bit tomorrow. And they are about today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. So, communication. How is it important? Once I said that the language originally wasn't given to humankind just to give information. We were given the language to talk about our feelings and emotions and impressions, to be thankful to the higher power which sends in the next time when you are gonna make a speech in front of the audience, consider some moments. First, what's the final goal of your message? Second, how better to transfer your message to the audience? And then try to understand, did they get your message? Because if they didn't, you have to do it one more time and differently. And I'd like to finish my short speech with the saying of Albert Einstein: the shortest distance is between 2 points. Thanks for your attention and wish you effective communication.
Round of applause. Thank you, Liudmyla. Thank you for your different secrets of communication, and it's really important for all of us. And it's really important. I think it's really important for all of process or for business. And now we have a feedback for your speech, and I think feedback is really important, not only business, but for when you receive the feedback for followers, for visitors, for customers, it's really important. But in this process, it's a book, but in our meeting, it's not a book, it's a really man. It's a man who person. It's really a person who listens carefully and give you feedback. And now I invite on this stage Nataly Parubocha. Nataly, the floor is yours.
Before that, we need a minute for the audience to give feedback to Liudmyla. So Lesa is sharing a link. So please dear timer, give a minute for the audience and show the red screen as soon as everyone fills the form. And I am ready with my evaluation.
Time is up.
Thank you so much, dear timer. I'm hopping on with my evaluation, and while the minutes was in progress, I had been preparing my virtual stage to deliver this evaluation. So to stand up and deliver it as if we are in a in-person at the in-person meeting. So, and I said, as I'm doing here, so talking about Liudmyla's speech, it is a topic chosen for this speech to understand the members' communication style, to have a short research through different communication styles and identifying the primary style for the speaker. Today it's Liudmyla. And what has Liudmyla done? Liudmyla has experience, has told us about her experience of different communication styles, and made that research through that. And that wasn't only like the report on there are such and such styles and my style is like that. No, and that's correct, and that was great what Liudmyla has done. She has told us about, she has provided us with different information on that, and she shared with us an appealing personal examples of dealing with and of preferring the talking and dealing with the with teenagers, and what are the main points of that. That was really interesting to hear and to witness from Liudmyla, and that was really great. It was interesting and well prepared content. That was the speech was summarized with the citation of Einstein, one of the Einstein quotes, and that was also really good thing for this speech. What would I suggest here? I would really suggest to add a little bit more structure. So if you're talking about different styles, just make it in like through several points. First, second, third, and so on. And this is first, this is second. And another thing, what would I suggest? Why not starting with a story to enliven a speech and to grab attention at once? Not with just an introduction, but make the introduction through the story. Or just add the story, not only that amazing example about teenagers, but also some interesting, bright story to show what are you talking about. Another thing, what would I suggest? To do the same as I am doing now, stand up and use the stage. And the third, as an evaluator, I shouldn't have told you that, but I think that would be useful for everyone here. As we are online, we sometimes get a bit relaxed. And if we wrote the script for our speech, had written down, there is a huge seduction of reading it from the screen, and it is so visible for the audience. So guys, this is for everyone. You can have some notes for you. However, I would suggest you, if you want to look at that notes to feel more comfortable, just write down the main stage of your speech. The rest should be better speaking from your mind. That's for everyone, because I know that there are some other members of our club here who do the same, and it is also really, really obvious for the audience. So to look even more professional as you are already now, that's for everyone here. So please use this little hint I used to you, and that I provided you with, and that would give you the your speeches more life, and that would make you look more not only professional, that would make you look more festive online and look more help express yourself better. Having said all of that, I would just like to show you how I organized my stage. That's it. Three chairs to stand up, because I'm a really tall person, to stand up and view the stage. Having said all of that, timer, sorry again, and I pass control again to our Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nataly. I think the good art of watching to a piece of paper is a trick. It's a good trick, and we try to do this. But now we continue our topic, and now it's time to the next festival. I think it's a festival like a Brazilian Carnival, our table topic session. And about some quotes, I like to some quotes about business and about improvisation. They sell not things, they sell emotions. And I think we buy not emotions, we buy the history of your history. We don't buy Dec Cluskey or don't buy Sergei Radchenko. We buy good story of our meeting, and I invite on this stage our table topic master, Dec Cluskey. The floor is yours.
Hello, and welcome to this festival of table topics. All the way from UK, the United Kingdom. Now, this is going to be very quick. What we're going to do, I'm going to do it different today. We are going to have pub quiz table topics. I will ask you questions, and I want you all to put your hands up for the answers. The first question is, what is the unit of currency in the Lebanon and in Syria? Is it the isba? Is it the dinar? Is it the pound? Put your hands up for the isba. Ah, Eric, oh, and Andrea. Yes. Is it the dinar? Natalie, yes. I've got to. Is it the pound? Only one person says the pound. Eric, would you tell me? Eric Helliwell, and forgive me for I've rehearsed all the names, but I am Irish, and Irish people are a bit stupid. I won't be able to pronounce your names, but there we are. Eric, tell me why you think the pound is the currency of Lebanon in Syria in exactly 2 minutes, Mr. Timer, please. Eric. You're muted, Mr. Eric.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master here, and you did get my name exactly right. So the Irish are much smarter than you think. I will also say that I think this is the pound because I believe I've heard it in several seen it in magazines, business quotes, etc. I am of half Syrian origin also. And I have a feeling that maybe I paid more attention to it because of that. So although I never grew up in Syria, I was born in the United States, but all topics related to a country that you have descendants from, you would tend to be a little more tuned to. So I'm in Cyprus now also, and in Cyprus, before they went to the euro, they used to have the pound here, the Cypriot pound. That I know for sure. And because they're kind of close in proximity, we're very close to Lebanon, and then Syria is right next door, that maybe they all kind of shared the same name. at some point. So that lends another level of credibility to my argument. And let's take it from the last part. Why don't I think it's the other two? The ISBA, I have no idea what that is. I think that's a made up thing. So in my opinion, I've never heard of it before. So I'm going to just say that's not real. I may be wrong about that, but it's certainly nothing I have ever heard of before. The dinar, believe I've heard of that before, but I think that's more on the eastern side of the Middle East, as opposed to the western side of the Middle East, which is where Lebanon and Syria would be. So with these collective points of wisdom that I put in place, or stupidity, depending on whether I'm right or wrong, I believe that's why I feel that's the pound. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Eric Helliwell. And the answer is the pound. Because we all forget that those British controlled 4/5 of the world at one stage, the British Empire, and it was all the pound. The next question is this. The Roman soldiers were paid in salt, in gold, in pasta. Put up your hands if you think it was salt. Eric again? Yes, one person. Oh, Corinna. Is that right? Corinna, something like that. That's close enough. Was it gold? Put your hands up. Nobody for gold. Was it pasta? Were they paid in pasta? Arena thinks pasta. Oh my goodness me. Well, Corinna, will you tell me why you think? Have you any experience of Roman soldiers? Have you any experience of salt? Well, tell us your ideas about salt and Roman soldiers. Go on, anything you like, Corinna. 2 minutes.
Hi there. I don't know the right answer, but I definitely know that that several centuries ago there was another type of the currency, like a salt. In Ukraine, we have a special way, we say Chumak way, and even the Milky Way on the sky, we used to say like a salt way, or the way of Chumaks, the way of those guys who bring the salt where it is needed. So I know that it was a type of a very important stuff that was of value for the habitants, for the local habitants. So it is my guess that salt could be of value in the time of Romans. That's it.
Well, that was brilliant, Corinna. Brilliant, Corinna. And
my name is Katerina.
Katrina.
Katrina.
It looks all very strange on the screen. I apologize. And I apologize to everybody. As I say, I'm stupid Irish. I am stupid Irish. But the real answer to that, salt, gold, or pasta. Yes, they were paid a little bit of local money, but mainly they were paid in salt. The next question is there a Disney park in Beijing? Is there a Disney park in Bombay? Is there a Disney park in Shanghai? Put your hands up for Disney park in Beijing, everybody. Nobody at all. Ah, is there a Disney park in Mumbai? Nobody at all. Is there a Disney park in Shanghai? Ah, Andrzej. Andrzej. Tell me, Andrzej. Open your microphone there and tell me, have you ever been to a Disney park? Have you ever been, maybe you've been to Shanghai? How do you think Disney gets on in Shanghai? Tell me all about it, Andrzej.
I believe that the answer for this question, if someone is not familiar where actually Disney parks, could be um, like probably I think the first step is to think actually where exactly this kind of parks could be of any value, because I can imagine that because of the bad relationship between China and the United States, probably businesses don't collaborate so like warmly. So perhaps Beijing is it a good fit. Mumbai could be the case. I mean, I can imagine that in Mumbai would be a Disney park, but Shanghai, at least in my mind, is the most cosmopolitan kind of city. So I can imagine that in Shanghai you can find pretty much everything. And that's why I thought that the Disneyland could be in Shanghai. I've never been to any Disneyland. I'm thinking very seriously to take my kids to Paris to Disneyland. We even actually a couple of months ago we've tried to find a proper accommodation and see what the prices are and when exactly we could go there. So that the Paris would be probably the first, potentially the place that I could see at Disneyland. I love this idea. I like the spirit of Disney, and I'm myself a big fan of science fiction. Of course, it's not exactly this, but I think it's like I like this kind of approach to reality when everything is possible. You can just immerse yourself in the world of fantasy and and enjoy your life more. Thanks a lot.
Big round of applause. Come on, everybody. Arena, you're not clapping. Nobody's clapping. Liudmyla, whoa, 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 whoa. We should all clap and go mad. That was terrific. And may I say that this Irishman, this Irish Santa Claus, was in Florida, Disney World. Oh, we had a lovely time. We had a lovely, lovely, gorgeous time. But the answer really is Shanghai. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow Toastmasters, I believe that it's fantastic. The only problem is you've got to learn to speak Chinese. Ha 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 ha! But there we are. The next question. This is a good one now. I see there's one Russian name down there, down the bottom, and I can't pronounce that one at all. But is the Russian Parliament House in Moscow, what's it called? The New House? The White House? The Red House? Hands up, everybody that think it's called the New House. Nobody at all. Nobody. Liudmyla is shaking her head there. Nobody at all. Well, who thinks it's the White House? Ah, we have the Russian man there saying it is the White House. And who thinks it's called the Red House? Eric again. And nobody else has got a thought at all. You've got to put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on. Who thinks it's the Red House? No. Well, listen, my friend, that I can't pronounce your name at all, but it's obviously in the hell. And Nataly says it should be called the Hell House. Oh, that's lovely. But listen, who was it there that said it was the White House? Put your hand up there. Oh, Nataly. Okay, Nataly, you tell us why you think it's called the White House. Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen it? Have you seen the White House, the proper one in America, or have you seen the one in Moscow? Tell us all about your travels and how you know about that. Nataly.
I will try to avoid political topics here. However, first of all, I have to say that I have never been neither to the Russian White House nor to the USA White House. However, I definitely know that that the Russian Parliament building is called the White House. And now I will start avoiding the political topics. Why? Because knowing how the Russian Parliament building looks like and is called, for us, it's the same as for Irish people to know where's the UK's parliament and how does it look like, and so on and so on. Because we have been the part of the same empire. And I still remember, I'm a bit older than the majority of people here, and I remember some events that would happen, and also that would happen exactly with that building, with White House in Moscow. Now, there were some protests about 20 years ago, or even 30 years ago, a lot of time. I was a little girl, but I still remember it. And that is why I know it for sure. And besides, we cannot avoid news from there, from the northeast. They sometimes reach us, and sometimes we hear what happened there. Probably not everyone here is happy of knowing about what happened in there, but otherwise, sometimes we need to know, because we need to know what to be prepared with. It's not a really festive experience, not a really festive knowledge. However, to have festivities here and to be able to have festive life here, we have to be prepared. That is why I know how the parliament building of Russia is called. Back to you, dear Santa.
And somebody has just reminded me I've made a terrible mistake. Santa Claus has made a terrible mistake. I have to do a 1 minute evaluation. Irina, I'm looking at you. Open your microphone there and in 1 minute, tell us an evaluation for what Nataly has just done. That makes sure that everybody is listening very intently. Irina, what did you think of Nataly's little speech? Not was she right or wrong. What did you think of our little speech?
Thank you for calling me to give my feedback to Nataly's speech. I would like to tell that she had a really great speech because she was trying to avoid political topic, and I think it's a really good advantage of it, because we're here to have some fun, to express some good emotions and not think about politics. And I think it's a real good aspect of Nataly's speech, and also she gave us a right answer, and she gave us information about history. I think it's also a good aspect of her speech, and it's also good for us to know something about history, a really good recall. And overall, I think she had a good structure. Yeah, that's all.
Very, very good. Come on, nobody applauds today. Applaud, Liudmyla. You keep looking down. You're not applauding. And Sergei, come on, clap your hands. That's it. And give us the old jazz hands. But that was lovely. And may I say to Irina and to everybody, when we evaluate, we're evaluating the way the person spoke, not what they spoke about. We never evaluate what a person says. It's the way that they say it. But let's get the answer. Of course, it's the White House in that dreadful place called Moscow. And that's not political at all. I was there a few years ago and I hated the place. I thought it was a dreadful place. I don't know. It reminded me of Belfast in Ireland. Very damaged people. But there we are. The next question is a hellebore a poisonous plant? Is it a boring speaker? Is it a part-time lecturer? Let's see. And please, 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 just guess if you don't know the answer. Just guess. Is a hellebore? Put your hands up if you think it's a poisonous plant. Nobody thinks it's a poisonous plant. Put your hands up if you think it's a boring speaker. Nobody. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Dnipro thinks it's a boring speaker. And what do you think? Is it a hellebore, a part-time lecturer? Eric again. Liudmyla. Ah, Liudmyla. Why do you think it's a part-time lecturer?
Yeah, are you calling
Have you
me?
any experience of lecturing? Oh, you probably have.
Yeah,
Tell us
it's
all
me.
about a hellebore. You can make it up if you want.
Yeah, so this word sounds like something from Harry Potter, you know? People who like reading Harry Potter, my students, often, send me a message. What do you think this means? I say, I don't know. They say, why you don't know? You're an English teacher. You have to know everything. Instead of that, of course, I experienced giving lectures. Here in Ireland, I live in a dormitory of 36 already people, and I'm giving my boring lectures every morning in the kitchen, and they just got sick and tired of me because I sound like an arrogant person who knows everything. So I'm escaping, and there is no place to escape. I promised children to treat them with chocolate just to leave me alone in this, sitting room for 30 minutes to be able to deliver my speech and take part at Toastmasters. Yes, that's why, I don't know why, kind of intuition. If I'm right, that's all right. Okay, hellebore, if it's, a part-time lecturer, that would be a new word like from Harry Potter. I would be still glad,
Come on. My goodness me, you're a boring audience. And I said that because I'm Santa Claus. I can say things like that. But there we are. So let's see, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is, it's a poisonous plant. Boys and girls, Toastmasters, take it from Santa Claus. If you want to poison somebody, get yourself a hellebore, which is part of the buttercup family. Now, there's a clever thing. Let's get on and get an evaluation, please, from Sergei. I'm looking at you, Sergei. Sergei Radchenko. Did I get that right? Give us 1 minute.
Okay,
How
thank you,
did you
Dec.
do?
Thank you, Dec. It's a good speech from Liudmyla. It's a good gestures, good structure, and she quote about Harry Potter, Harry Potter movie, and also she give us some picture from her life, from her stories, for her work, and it's really important because it's life emotions, it's life feelings, it's good gestures, good smile, and good structure. And finally, when she finished her speech, she don't know what is really think what you ask us, but she don't afraid for the answer, because it's a question, it's a trick, it's good feelings, good mood. And Liudmyla creates a good atmosphere with her speech. Thank you, Liudmyla. Thank you.
There we are now. That was lovely. Now, how about this? Is goodling a term used in yacht racing? Is goodling a term used in snowboarding? Is goodling a term used in fishing? Now, please, 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 everybody, make a guess. Put your hand up for something. Here we go. All put your hands up if you think goodling is a term used in yacht racing. Put your hands up. Ah, oh, I can't pronounce. Oh, Katrina. Yeah, we've had Katrina. Now, is it now? Put your hands up for snowboarding. Aha. Is it a term used in fishing? Eric again. Now listen, Boychuk. Oh, Boychuk.
Yeah, it's my turn. Thank you, Dec.
No,
Really,
I want you
inviting
to
me
tell
the
me
stage.
why you think you said what you said. Have you any experience of it? Maybe you're a goodler yourself in festivals and things like that, and festive occasions. Ooh, on you go. 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Dec. When you ask a question, I started thinking using this exclusion method. I tried fishing. Once, many times. I tried it with my colleagues. I tried it with my father. And my father and my colleagues never used the term goodling or something like this in Ukrainian language. So I think fishing wouldn't be a case. Then yacht racing, never tried it. I was a passenger on a yacht, but I have never raced a yacht. I've been only a passenger. I had a small talk with the captain a couple of times. And you see, he never used this term. Goodling, yes. And I tried snowboarding. Really, I tried snowboarding. I tried it 3 times here in Ukraine and in Georgia. And my first guess was something like a move in snowboarding that you try to change the direction of your move. And it was my first guess. And I think it's a term which is used in snowboarding. And it's something like changing your direction, something like a specific thing that you can try and you can direct yourself. This is my answer. I'm pretty sure that this should be in snowboarding. And of course, I encourage you to try it. Thanks.
Lovely. Look, people are applauding now. Look, they're applauding. That must have been good, Boychuk. That was good. And the answer is, believe it or not, nobody got it right. It's catching a fish by hand. And that, unfortunately, brings us to the end of this festive table topics with your own Irish Santa Claus. Thank you very much for listening to me, and over to you, to the Toastmaster. Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, dear Santa Claus. Thank you for the good experience. Thank you for the good festival. It's not Brazilian, it's some cold, but it's so warm. It's really, really emotions. Thank you. Thank you. And now, as Lesia...
Sergei, your sound off.
Vote from the best table topic speaker and vote for the best table topic evaluator in this part. And we give a minute? No? Yes. The minutes for you, for your vote.
So we suggest to combine today's our voting. So we will vote just for the best impromptus, yeah, because we have 2 evaluators and much more speakers. So just vote for the best. And at the end of the technical reports, I will share with you the certificate of who was the best impromptus today.
Time is up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Oleksandr. And now it's time to back to our technical experts. And the first technical expert is our grammarian, Eric. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you very much. So when I first introduced the role, I told you that I was going to be less voluminous in how many of things I identified. I think it was a pretty good overall anyway, but I decided to hone in on just a couple of things in terms of what I want to talk about. And I picked one from each of our speakers, our main speakers today. I didn't do anything from the table topics because it was largely minor things there that, you know, again, we improve ourselves by continually listening to other speakers that are more advanced in that. So there's, I think when I do this role, I want to pick just a couple of things to talk about. So take a little more time with that. But first, I want to highlight what I thought were some really good phrases that were used in the speeches. So I'll throw that up over here. I liked master of implementation. That was really good. Master is kind of a cool word to use when you're looking for a superlative. So if I'm talking about salsa dancing, say she's a good salsa dancer. You can say she's a great salsa dancer. But if you say she's the master of salsa, you know, that's because you can't say she's the greatest salsa dancer ever because you've never seen every single salsa dance in the world, right? But master, you can say. Master is a high level of excellence and a good superlative. Business that will be durable. Durable is a really useful word. It can be used in materials, but also with people, personalities. Yeah, so that's kind of a strong phrase. Resonate is a very good. Resonate with your customers, not just that they'll buy something, that you've convinced them of something. That resonate means they've reasoned in their own mind and come to the conclusion of what you're talking about. Very important word to use. Give your potential customers a flavor. That's very tasty phrase, if I will. So, you know, so like flavors of ice cream, you know, so giving them a sample of something you want them to try out there. So that was cool. And then the power of perception, you know, kind of it's an alliterative phrase, you know, kind of has the sound, the same between the words and that. And I thought it was a powerful phrase also. And you can also put any type of noun you want after that with power, right? So it can be the power of responsibility, the power of personality, the power of anything. So kind of a good general phrase to use. Now, for the things I want to talk about, let me throw those up here. So one thing I heard, the step 5, it should be step 5. No article is needed here. Now, who can tell me why I don't need an article here? Anybody? So let me throw this up in the chat as well, because so articles are a big thing in Slavic because you don't really, you don't have them. So let me throw 3 examples of something over here. Let's talk about a simple noun like park. We will walk to a park. is used because it's an open thoughts in your mind, right? We haven't decided which park to walk to, but we're going to go to one of them. So we need. I can't hear you, Sergey. Are you talking? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I heard you moving there. We will walk to the park. All right. That means we've decided a park we're going to, but I haven't explicitly named it. So I still need an article there. All right. But if I say we will walk to Central Park, I have absolutely identified which one it is. You don't need the article for that. Okay, so that wouldn't make sense to say we'll walk to the Central Park. All right, so it's the same with step. If I have to say something like the next step, that's fine because I haven't fully identified what step it is at this point. But if I say step 5, it's fully identified, it's absolutely defined, we don't use the article. So I just want to take a little extra time to talk about that so you understand it. The other thing in Liudmyla's speech, a couple of things, because she did it 2 times, was the use of not using a pronoun. So she said something like, it's not what we say, it's how we say. Okay, it's better to use the pronoun it at the end because that completes the thought. It identifies what you're saying it about. All right, so we said we opened up with a sentence. We want to close the loop on that sentence because I could go anywhere at that point. I could say it's how we say hello, which is totally different than what we just were saying before. So the pronoun closes the loop. And the other thing, it came in, she did it the second time here too, which was, I said, are there unicorns? She didn't say anything about unicorns, but she was talking about something. And then she said, I really doubt afterwards. So it, again, is the pronoun referring back to unicorns. So again, think of it as closing the loop with the pronoun there. So those little sentence structures. So I think those are just useful little tactics for you. Otherwise, I didn't hear anything really dramatic that was worth talking about. And the last thing, this is what I got for the word of the day. Nataly, Dec, and Sergei. If anyone else used it, I'm sorry, shout it out now and give yourself credit. I didn't hear it though. But if barring any others that want to say they said that word, that closes my report. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Eric, for so good and deep feedback for all of us. And now we continue our topic and continue the technical experts' feedback. And now now it's accounters' role, accounters' feedbacks, and I invite on the stage Yura Boychuk. Yuri, the floor is yours.
Sergei, thanks again. Thank you very much. I'm going to be really very short, guys, because you did your best. You tried to do your best, really. Because the speakers who were on the stage misused this crutch or pause filler like R. We overused it. We use it quite often. Especially people who took much time on the stage, who had speakers here. And what else? Another thing is that the speakers repeated. For instance, you can, that's, 2, 2, 4, 4. So we were just filling these pauses with repeating the words we have said before. And you can see my report in chat. It's very short. I'm sure that you've done your best. Thanks.
Thank you, Yuri. I think it's a good mood for our timer when you give us your feedback. It's good results. And I invite on the stage our timekeeper, Oleksandr Myronchuk. Oleksandr, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I try to be very briefly because we're a little bit out of time today. And so we started from workshop. We have for workshop 45 minutes and 32 seconds. Then we have prepared speech. This speech have the time 8 minutes and 1 second. Evaluation for prepared speech have the time 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Then we have table topic session. Eric, 2 minutes 22 seconds. Katerina, 1 minute 11 seconds. Andrzej, 1 minute 45 seconds. Nataly, 2 minutes 25 seconds. Liudmyla, 1 minute 18 seconds. Yura Boychuk, 1 minute 44 seconds. And table topic session. We have only 2 table topic session evaluation. There are Irina, 0 minute 45, 54 seconds. Sergii Radchenko, 1 minute 11 seconds.
I'm sorry, could you repeat, please? My evaluation was 1 minute 45 seconds, or only 45 seconds?
Only 45 seconds. I also sent all this information in the chat, and you can check your time. Thank you for attention. Back to you.
Thank you, Oleksandr. And we continue our festival. And now it's time to pass the floor from one president to another president. And I invite on the stage the president of Dnipro Hills, Yura Boychuk. Yuri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sergei. Thank you. Guys, let's give a round of applause to the Toastmaster of our meeting, to the president of Odesa Club, Sergei. Kudos. It's all to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a Toastmaster. You did a really great job. I really just a bit jealous because I've never been a Toastmaster, I mean online. And this is like an example for me. Thanks for this example. I'm really happy that we have had this unusual meeting, which started with a workshop, thanks to Andrzej. Thanks for these insights that were in your presentation. And I think we can really use them in just advertising our club and making it bigger. I'm sure that Lesya agrees with me. And Nataly. Then we have this speech from Liudmyla, and I like your idea that the 20% is what you say. Another one, how you do this, how you convey your message. And thanks for this. And then we have a really festival, which was performed by Dec, the festival. You have this special outfit. We're going to prepare for Christmas. Thanks, Dec. Thanks for this friendly and amiable atmosphere that you created during your table topic session. I enjoyed it. I feel really relaxed during it. And when, of course, me and Liudmyla, we were not right when answering the questions, but come on, we were so relaxed. We were easy to deliver. And thanks for such questions that you used. So, guys, I'm going to thank all the participants from Odesa and Andrzej. Thanks for connecting to us, and for the guests who joined the meeting, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Thanks again. And perhaps it's time to pass the control to our Zoom master. Yes.
Yes, of course, because we have the best table topic impromptu for today. So congratulations to Eric here. As you see, you have very special certificates signed up from to our president. So you just can show it to everyone. And another thing which I also are responsible for, so we can make a good final photo. So let's try to make it as fast as we can. So if you know, we have a lot of reactions, so just using something like this or something like another one, and we can like remembered this meeting and this our festive mood for today. So just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we trying to do as lovely as we can, as smiley as we can. Under still such situation, and just another shot, just one additional shot. We need it. Sorry, because it's always. Yeah, great. I always try to find the best photo for everyone. And in these words, unfortunately, we should close our official meeting. Of course, we still have some talk for informal talks, and for all our foreigners, fellows, guests, friends, and etc. We plan our next online meeting at the end of the January or at the beginning of February. So just be in touch with us. In case you wanted to pursue your English communication online just on this time on Sunday, please get in touch with Sergii Radchenko, because Best Odesa speakers make every Sunday such kind of online meetings, so we all can continue to grow up as fast and as we can and as we want. And about Kyiv, about in-person meeting, we still have a few good Sunday for in-persons in Kyiv, so follow our updates. Next Sunday we will have in-person for sure, and for Odessa also, I am sure that next Saturday Odessa also will have in-person or hybrid meeting. Sergei?
In the next Saturday, we have not only in person, we have hybrid, but it's with joint meeting with Friends Club. We have a large program. It's a good meeting, and I invite you on this meeting. It's especially for Ukrainian language. We have some big part of prepared speeches, and even we have some asking for the next the club of Svea Sorochka from Victoria Baluk. She wants to be a presenter of prepared speech in our meeting in the next Saturday, and it's really interesting.
So everyone can join as far as you can time, and you have enough resources for this. Very happy to see our foreigners, fellows, friends, etc. From abroad, and just wanted to hug all of you just as tight as I can via the screen, so we can just do this, and hope to see you next time, next year. Just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all. We will see in the next year. In all this case, I just stop the recording and